Ethan Carter was a name everyone once knew. A rising star in his university. He had it all: brilliance, charm, and a future brighter than the sun. Professors admired him, classmates envied him, and success seemed to follow him like a shadow. But life has a way of humbling even the brightest stars. One evening, Ethan received a call that shattered his world. "Mr. Carter, your parents were in a car accident. We did everything we could." The rest of the words blurred into a haunting silence. The weight of grief crushed him instantly. His parents, his biggest supporters, were gone in the blink of an eye. Ethan spiraled into a darkness he never knew existed. He stopped attending lectures, abandoned his projects, and locked himself away from the world. The golden boy had turned into a ghost. But life wasn't done testing him. A month later, as he sat in his apartment surrounded by unpaid bills and unopened letters, another call came. "Ethan, your scholarship is revoked. Your grades have plummeted. We have no choice." That was it. The final blow. No parents, no home, no future. He was officially nothing, with nowhere to go and no one to turn to. Ethan wandered the streets, his pockets empty, his stomach hollow. He knocked on doors, begged for jobs, but no one wanted a college dropout drowning in grief. One rainy night, after hours of walking with no destination, he collapsed against a cold brick wall in an alleyway. The hunger, the exhaustion, the emptiness, it was unbearable. At that moment, he wished he had never existed. Then, out of the darkness, a voice spoke. "You look like you've lost everything." Ethan looked up. An old man, wrapped in a tattered coat, stood before him. His eyes, deep with experience, held no pity, only understanding. "I have," Ethan whispered. The man sat beside him on the wet pavement. "Then you're in the perfect place to begin." Ethan scoffed. "What can a homeless old man teach me?" The man chuckled. "More than a rich fool ever could." With that, he tossed Ethan a small, stale piece of bread. "Eat, then tomorrow, meet me at the park. If you want your life back, be there at dawn." Something about the man's words planted a tiny seed inside Ethan, a seed of hope. For the first time in months, he had a reason to wake up. At dawn, Ethan found the old man sitting on a park bench, watching the sunrise. "I see you made it," the man said. Without looking, Ethan nodded. "Who are you?" "Someone who lost everything once. Just like you. Name's Victor." Over the next few weeks, Ethan followed Victor, watching and learning. Victor didn't beg, he worked. He found small jobs, carried boxes, washed windows, and even traded wisdom for food. But more than that, Victor taught. Lesson 1. Pain is a teacher, not a curse. Ethan complained about his struggles, but Victor only laughed. "You think life is punishing you? No, it's training you. The sooner you listen, the sooner you grow." Lesson 2. You are not your past. Ethan often drowned in regret, wishing he could go back to his perfect life. Victor shook his head. "That boy you used to be is gone. You can cry for him, or you can build someone stronger." Lesson 3. Strength is found in struggle. One day, after hours of carrying bricks for a few dollars, Ethan groaned. "This is pointless." Victor smiled. "And yet, today you lifted twice as much as yesterday." Strength doesn't come from ease, it comes from hardship. Slowly, Ethan changed. His hands, once soft and privileged, grew calloused and strong. His mind, once clouded by self-pity, sharpened with resilience. Months passed. Ethan worked, saved, and climbed out of the pit life had thrown him into. One evening, Victor led him to a rooftop overlooking the city. "Tomorrow, you go back," he said. "Back to what?" Ethan asked. Victor pointed toward the university in the distance. "You think you lost everything, but life was just resetting your path. Now, you go and build again." Fear crept into Ethan's chest. "What if I fail?" Victor chuckled. "Then you fail, and then you rise, because that's what we do." The next morning, Ethan walked back through the university gates. No longer the golden boy, but a man forged by fire. He begged for a second chance. He showed them what he had become, and they let him in. Not as a privileged scholar, but as a fighter who refused to stay down. Years later, Ethan Carter stood before thousands, delivering a speech at the graduation ceremony. The audience expected the usual words of encouragement, but Ethan smiled and began differently. "I once had everything. Then, I lost it all. And for a long time, I thought life was unfair." He paused, his eyes scanning the crowd. But then I met a man who taught me something priceless. The hardest moments in life are actually our greatest gifts. Because they force us to grow, to fight, and to become something more. He held up his hands, scarred, strong, unrecognizable from before. These hands were once weak. These hands once begged. But today, these hands build. The crowd fell silent, hanging on to every word. If you are struggling, if life has shattered you, remember this. Pain is a doorway. Walk through it, and on the other side, you will find the strongest version of yourself. Ethan looked to the back of the room, where an old man stood, smiling proudly. Victor had never left his side. The final lesson. Why the hardest moments are your greatest gifts. Ethan's story is the story of every person who has ever fallen. It is your story. Life will break you. It will take what you love. It will push you to the edge. But what you do at that moment will define everything. Will you stay down, or will you rise? Remember, pain is not the end. It is the beginning. Struggle is not punishment. It is preparation. The hardest moments are not curses. They are gifts wrapped in fire. The fire will either consume you or forge you. The choice is yours. If this story inspired you, subscribe for more. Hit the like button and comment below with the hardest challenge you've ever overcome. Let's build a community of warriors who rise no matter what.